Well, good day, Derby Jack. I hope you made it through the night. I hope you made it wherever you were. Whether it's cold, I hope you're not stuck outside like many people are. I hope that you've smartened up and allowed the Spirit to teach you. I hope that many of you are not letting the world and letting this government and letting all the nonsense of the world come into your heart. Don't let it, for the world's not worth your heart. Okay. Food. I have the power of the Holy Spirit in me, but at the same time, as a natural man, I fear. What do I fear? I fear food. I get sick when I eat food. The food in the last several months has gotten worse. We buy meats. We try our best. The meat's too hard. I know how to cook. You can't soften the meat. You can beat the hell out of it. It doesn't soften. It's either stringy. I can't even buy chicken anymore. I don't know whether it's chicken, whether it's Soylent Green. I don't know what the hell the stuff is. And you don't either. Isaiah 55:2. Wherefore do we spend money for that which is not bread? And your labor for that which satisfies not? Hearken diligently unto me, and eat that which is good, and let your souls delight in its fatness. You know, we know that when you eat the Word of God spiritually, you're nourished. What did God do to them who were wandering in the wilderness 40 days, all that time, 40 years, right? They did what? They ate of the manna of God, pure, unadulterated, unsynthesized, un-GMO'd manna from heaven. Don't know exactly what that was, but I do know what the word says. And they ate, and they were filled. Also, ate and not hoard, or it would go bad because God was going to feed them the next day. What happens to us? We hoard our food because we're in a time that we have to. But yet the food doesn't last. Canned goods no longer last like they used to. Why? They could make it happen, but what they've done is taken the chemicals against the food, making it, because it's all about making money. It isn't about saving people's lives. Like I've said, my biggest problem is in this country, we have a food and a drug administration all in one office. Think about that for a minute. I'm going to say it again for you people who've never heard it. Food is separated from the drugs. Now, food can be considered good medicine, but at the same time, drugs in the food should not be. So we have a drug and food administration. People say, well, that's not what that means. Well, then you tell me what it means. Because to me, they shouldn't be in the same district. Food is food for nourishment. Drugs are either drugs or medicine. Now, like I said, you have people go to hospital to eat good food. Well, we hope they do. And hopefully they get medicine they need. But when it comes to the separation, food and drugs should not be in the same freaking office. Government, stupid ass government people. I'm sorry, but. So they make this thing, right? Food and Drug Administration, right? And that means that food and drugs can be put together. Like Fauci and Gates and all of them, they want to put vaccines in your salad. Is that good medicine? I mean, they have to, even when they're trying to genocide people with vaccines, they have to have boosters. They can't kill the people off with one sitting, with one injection. They got to make them sick. Then eventually they hope that after their bodies are no longer able to sustain nutrition because the medicines or the drugs or whatever, the chemicals in the food and the sky and the water has broken down our immune systems, not to mention what they're doing to our DNA, you no longer can receive the nutrition that you deserve to have in your body from the food, because the food no longer is nutritious. Do you think that God gave manna that was drugged to his people? Do you think he gave manna that had all kinds of chemicals in it? No, pure, unadulterated nourishment, not only for the body, but also for the spirit and the soul. Jeremiah 3:15, and I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with the knowledge of understanding. Ezekiel 34:14, I will feed them in a good pasture, and upon the high mountains of Israel shall their fold be. There shall they feed upon the mountains of Israel. John 6:51, I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I will give is my flesh. So we're seeing the spiritual nutrition here in the Word. Spiritual nutrition. But it always goes back to also the physical nutrition. You have to be physically fit to be able to walk in this world, to fight the adversary of this world. If your body is failing you, so does your mind. Because your mind has got to be fed with the nutrition that you receive by eating food. But we live in a world which has taken that nutrition and has destroyed it, mangled it. We don't get the nutrition. Like I said, I've been eating in the last couple months, and the food does not process. I have trouble eating because I have denture problems. I can't chew right, and they look good, but So food doesn't come in, and I'm having trouble, and then processing stuff that my body is not made to process. All the glutens, all the chemicals. I don't have something here in front of me right now that could give you a list of, you see the food, look on this list of, if you have cereal, it should be oats and grains, that's it. But no, they got all kinds of stuff in there. Is that nutrition? And a lot of times, how many of you can truthfully say that when you eat anymore, do you feel good? Or do you feel weighed down? See, if you feel weighed down from the food you eat, if you feel weak after a sitting of eating breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and you still feel weak, you still are not being able to feel the nourishment build up in you, then guess what? Your eating is not nourishing you. The food that you're buying is not giving you anything. Actually, it's taking from you. And it's actually giving you stuff that your body cannot manage. And breads, like they've said, we've got plastics in our breads. I eat bread, and I'm afraid to eat the bread now. I like to eat a egg sandwich in the morning. And then I have to be very wary of the eggs I buy. I did not get born into a world to poison me, but yet, here I am. Most of you people, you think that you get that. Here's the other thing. Just because it says organic, it isn't. When it rains, the chemicals that are in the rain from the chemtrails come down on your food. Even if they don't do anything else in the processing of that food, you are also getting the chemtrail poisoning in the food. whether it's in the meat. Like I said, if they didn't destroy everything else that has to do with nutrition in the food, the chemtrails themselves would be enough. So just imagine between the chemtrails, between the chlorine and chloride. Matter of fact, fluoride is not only the only thing in your water right now. I've just recently found out they put something called chloridine, whatever the hell. It's like chlorine, bleach, and ammonia together. Have you ever mopped the floor? You ever worked in a place where somebody stupid would put bleach and put ammonia together, and what happens? If you sit there and take a sniff of that plume coming up, you're going to be dead. So they mixed all that in water. Is that healthy? And who gives them? Oh, that's right. The Food and Drug Administration. We go back to that again. So the Food and Drug Administration says, yes, we can put 2 different kinds of chemicals into the water. It's okay. Because of the Food and Drug Administration. They have the right. Doesn't mean it's right. They have the right, doesn't mean it's right. They have the okay, doesn't mean it should be. Just because we can doesn't mean we should. So my question is to you. Many of you think you're eating, as many of you may be eating good food. I just can't seem to find it. And right now, I'm afraid to go out and find it. I don't know what's real anymore. I can't trust the farmer's market. I can't trust Kroger's. I have to shop because it's the closest place. But I don't trust the food there. I don't. I look at the meat. The meat doesn't look the way it used to look 10, 15, 20 years ago. And I have a very good memory when it comes to food. I was a cook. Like I said, I worked before I was trained as a European-style gourmet chef, but I ended up what? Before I retired, working at a Subway. And the reason I left was so many different reasons. The kids weren't worth anything anymore. We used to depend on young people, and they became batshit crazy, and chemicals in their brains from getting injections from Moderna and Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson. I don't even know why Johnson & Johnson is still in business. Ovarian cancer from talcum powder. And yet, they're still in business. It's a shame that nutrition physical nutrition no longer means anything. Because they want to change you. Make you, where they want to mix the iron and clay, make you half robot. They can put oils in you, maybe you'll be a remade, Borg or something. That's what they want. And the nutrition will probably be 30 pen oil, 30 or 40, whatever. Maybe that will be your nutrition, which means you have nothing to do with what you're getting on earth, from the earth, from what God created. And here's the thing. What God created, it no longer exists. Everything is tainted. Everything is manipulated. Everything is changed. The church no longer serves God in most cases. Churches are letting all kinds of things happen in there. And Christians, right now you got, what's his name, who did those movies, Kirk Cameron. Now he thinks he's a nihilist. And to me, if you think that way, then why become a Christian? Because when you die, you just die, according to Kirk Cameron. All you do is die, and don't worry about it. So why worry throughout your life to be a Christian? Why care what God thinks if you're going to die at the end? Do you understand how stupid that is? Nihilism is not from God's word. So Kirk Cameron has lost his way, and if he continues this way, I'm going to let you know. Kirk Cameron will lose his salvation. just by what he believes. So you don't want to believe that? That's up to you. What is your nourishment? Is your nourishment from the Word and good food? And if you have good food, are you able to get the nourishment of God? Yes. If you have bad food, it makes it hard to get the good nourishment of God because your brain isn't working right. Your brain's got plastics in it. Your brain's got other chemicals in it. Barium, strontium, ammonia, whatever. And yet, y'all still eat the same crap. And nobody, you want an insurrection? Go to Washington. Everybody go to Washington and say, I want food. I don't want shit anymore. But no, nobody will. Nobody will. Your salvation depends on you people. It's getting crazy out there. And I'm trying my best not to get angry. But right now, it's hard for me to want to eat. I haven't eaten anything yet today. I'm drinking coffee. And I have to watch the coffee I buy. It's getting more expensive. I bought some tea. Can't drink tea because it's too damn sweet and it's probably going sour. I don't know what to believe anymore. And it's supposed to be good till January, which you don't want that anyway. I don't want my apple to last for 5 months. I don't want my fruit to last. I don't want my eggs to last for 20 days. I don't want, because it's chemicals. It's not food. So, I've said my piece again. And I'm angry. I really, really am. I'm angry, you know. Everybody wants to play around with the Erica Kirk bull crap and the Charlie Kirk. I don't know whether the man's dead or alive. I don't care anymore because none of that stuff matters. Government doesn't matter. The Epstein files really don't matter. And if they do come out, they're not going to come out. Trump is not going to allow himself to be taken down. So all of this, I see it on the internet. And you know what? You people are getting tired. I'm tired of you. The Sessions, the Democrats against Trump, the Trumpers against the Democrats. You know what? You're all a bunch of has-beens and you all don't believe in God. You believe in Trump. You believe in America. You believe in the world. You believe in space. You believe in all this bullshit, but you won't believe in God. It's a shame. It's really a shame. So, in saying all that, I love my research books. But anyway, in saying all that, I love y'all. I'll put a song on the end of this for you people who like my music, but I'm working on some stuff, but I just don't feel musical. My fingers are getting soft. I don't play as much as I should. I'm not as good as I was. I have to practice to even do old songs because there's no love in music anymore. God gave that to me, and the world's doing its best to take it away from me. So what you got to do is you just got to continue believing in God. Every morning now, I get up out of bed and I read Psalms 23. Over and over and over again, I read Psalms 23. I'm going to get to a point where I will memorize every word. I will study every word. For if it was good enough for David, it's good enough for me. But I'll tell you what, the world is dying. And do not die with it. I mean, you will physically die. For you Christians don't understand, you have to die physically before you can be resurrected, just like Jesus did. And like I've said many times, I may be one who will go under a guillotine. That's okay, because I know where I'm going after I resurrect. So there you go. You can believe that or not. But it depends to every Christian. You have the responsibility of your own salvation. And once again, I'm going to remind you, For you people who don't believe this, you say you can't lose yourself. I hear a lot of people, well, I love Kirk Cameron. I'm telling you right now, Kirk Cameron, if he continues thinking the way he's thinking, he will lose his salvation. You better believe that. But anyway, for you people who don't want to believe it, and you think that you can sin over and over again and you can still go to heaven, well, hey, cool and fine. But you're going to have a rude awakening. So, in saying that, love y'all. Pray for people who need to be prayed for. Pray for yourselves. Continue praying over your food, because the power of prayer will only make you stronger. It ain't going to take the poisons out of the food. You know, I believe that when it's all said and done, we're all supposed to run to the mountains and stuff like that. That if God really wanted to protect us, he would change our eating habits, and we'd be like the beasts of the field if he wanted us to eat grass and get nourishment. What they want to do is make us eat grass and just look like whatever. So, in saying all that, I love you all. Derby Jack out. Prepare for a song, and I hope to see you all on the other side.
They poison our culture with a hate and fear. They use entertainment that makes us laugh or tear. They pollute our lives with the meddling in our affair. They threaten all their existence, you best beware. They poison our children with their transgender lives. They mangle their bodies and also reprogram their minds. They clutter them with ideas they weren't born in the right skin. They live in a world that wants to do them in. Poison's pouring down in the chemtrail rain. Poison's in the foods we eat and the water we drink. Poison's in the medicines that's supposed to help us heal. Poison's everywhere, how does that make you feel? They poison creation with the science they do. They have no morals or ethics they filter through. They have all the power and resources that come their way. They never take responsibility when it goes astray. They poison hearts each and every day. They confuse with deceptions and lies that they say. They don't care what happens to me or you. They think us garbage, throw us away when they're through. Poison's pouring down in the chemtrail rain. Poison's in the foods we eat and the water we drink. Poison's in the medicines that's supposed to help us heal. Poison's everywhere, how does that make you feel? Poison's pouring down in the chemtrail rain. Poison's in the foods we eat and the water we drink. Poison's in the medicines that's supposed to help us heal. Poison's everywhere, how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? How animals, they